106.7 Light FM. Thank you so much for coming out. We're going to talk about and see and hear from the Hitmen, who are actually playing here tomorrow night. They have a new CD. It's called Don't Stop. Everyone go out and get it if you don't already have it. And there might be some copies in the house, as I've been told. I want to introduce everybody in the Hitmen. We have Lee Shapiro right here, the legend, at the grand piano. Jimmy Ryan, come on out.
Yeah, Ryan.
On lead guitar. Then we have Steve Murphy on drums. Where's Steve? Steve is coming out right here. Russ Velasquez on keyboards and percussion. And Jeff Gans on bass. And they're going to get the special award for the Musicians Hall of Fame, but we want to talk to the guys first about how this all came about. And I think, Lee, let's start with you. Tell us, everybody, about Bob Gaudio and the Four Seasons and everything. Tell us a quick story about how this all sort of came about from, say, Jersey Boys, for example.
People have been asking. I was one of the Four Seasons in the 70s. I replaced Bob Gaudio. And people were asking me to, when are you going to play live again? And it just wasn't a thought. With the success of Jersey Boys, I said to myself, I said, I didn't say that, but I just did now. But I said, if there's ever going to be a time, this is it. So I called at the time Don Ciccone, may he rest in peace, beautiful man, and Jerry Polchi, who was retired, but three of us were the 70s Four Seasons. So we went out, and I first went to see Frankie, because we have a 46-year friendship now. And I said, hey man, there's a lot of sound-alikes and tributes, and I don't want to do that, but I'm thinking of going out with Polchi and with Ciccone. What do you think? Guy couldn't have been more supportive. He said, go out, do it. You were one of the Four Seasons. There's no limitation on what you play. Do whatever you want. So we went on, and we did it, and we played our second gig, and our wonderful agency, Ron Gartner and Fran Heller from Bicoastal were there and gave us an opportunity to be the Hitmen. And we recruited all these amazing, talented people and went out there and killed it. We don't still believe it. It's our 9th year. I can't believe it.
Congratulations.
Amazing.
So in case you didn't know, Lee, we replaced Bob Gaudio as one of the Four Seasons in '73, musical director, arranger on the biggest seasons hit, What a Night, collaborated with Barry Manilow and Tommy James, touring as one of the Shondells, also invented the rock and roll elbow toy.
I did. That's that's the biggest success of my life.
That's
I'm
amazing.
the inventor of rock and roll elbow for Mattel.
Jimmy Ryan, music director for Carly Simon for 22 years, including your 70s and 80s prime, recorded with Paul McCartney, Elton John, Mick Jagger, to name a few, and was a founding member of the 60s Garage Rockers, the Critters. Jimmy, tell us a story about one of those guys.
Wow, where to start?
Or girls.
Well, there's a funny little story about Carly. We were doing our first gig at the Troubadour in LA, and we were in the dressing room, and we were just about ready to get on. There was a knock on the door of the dressing room, and I said, I'll get it, relax. We were all in there just waiting to go. And I opened the door, and there's a gentleman outside with big glasses like this, one of those flammable rayon shirts with a huge collar, bright color. And he says, I want to see Carly right now. And I went, excuse me? Carly. I said, yeah, man, we're about to go on. Can you, maybe after the show? He goes, no, I want to see her right now. And I said, oh, they just slammed the door in his face. It was a little bit rude. I turn around and Carly's like, and I'm saying, what? What's wrong? She says, do you know whose face you just slammed that door in? I said, no, who was it? She goes, that was Warren Beatty. And I will tell you, and she has not admitted, we've had this discussion, and she has not admitted it, but she did wink and grin. I said, that is the birth of You're So Vain. I wanted to let him back in. I said, let me go get him. She goes, no, he needs that.
Unbelievable story, wow.
So I think that is the birth of it.
Jimmy Ryan, thank you. Russ Velasquez recorded and performed with Carole King, the Ramones, Chicago, sang on countless TV commercials, produced music for Sesame Street, which is amazing. Do you have an amazing Ramones story to tell?
Well, I don't know about amazing, but
No, it's amazing.
Also, I got nominated for 3 Emmys for Sesame Street.
Yes!
Didn't win. But, well, with the Ramones. Okay, well, Joey, well, they were recording an album over on 30th Street, and I went, actually, it was a great day because I actually got fired from doing lights for Johnny Gill or Mickey Gilly and Johnny Lee at the Copa. I knew the Ramones were recording on 30th Street. I went there, and they recorded about 12 basic tracks in like an hour and a half. And they were ready to do vocals, so the assistant engineer, who was my buddy, said, hey Joey, you know, Russ sings. So he goes, and he's like this tall, and he's like curling his hair, and he says, Russ, do you think you could do the part, you know, above what I'm singing? And I'm like, the harmony? He goes, yeah, okay. So they didn't have any time, you know, the engineer didn't want to waste any time, didn't want to set up a mic for me. Meanwhile, Joey's this tall. So the mic's up here, so they get a cinder block, and I had to stand on a cinder block for the whole session trying to sing with Joey. And, you know, so I wish we had a camera, you know, at that time, but it was pretty hilarious to me, standing on a cinder block and recording with Joey Ramone. But he couldn't have been nicer. He was great, and we blew through. I mean, it was unbelievable. These guys are like, 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, and just knocked out 12 songs in a couple of hours. Unbelievable. So, thank you.
Russ, thank you so much. Steve Murphy on drums, toured and performed with Alan Parsons, Chuck Negron of Three Dog Night, the Turtles, as well as members of Foreigner and Journey. And, well, you got a quick story for us?
Which one?
There's so many, right?
Let's see. Well, I mean, there's another band that I toured with before Alan Parsons, and it's the band's called Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Yeah.
You guys have heard of them. You know, now we're going up a little bit in time, maybe another decade, but yeah. So I met Alan. I toured with him for 7 years, and I met Alan while he was doing a tour called A Walk Down Abbey Road in 2000, and that consisted of Todd Rundgren, Ann Wilson from Heart, John Entwistle, and who else was on that? Those are the main ones. I think David Pack from Ambrosia was on it as well, and so I met him after the show. And we, you know, the guitar player Godfrey Townsend, one of my old partners in crime from back then, was the musical director. And the next year, John Entwistle did not come back. His drummer didn't as well either come back. And so who replaced him was Jack Bruce. So I got to do that tour that next year. But the way I got to do it was I invited Alan to come see Trans-Siberian Orchestra in LA to see me play, and so that's how I got that gig, working with Alan, and then from there it was the Turtles and Christopher Cross, and again another tour with Todd, and
Everybody.
just really great. That launched it right there, and the rest is pretty much history.
Steve, thank you so much. Jeff Gans, let's get to you. Toured and performed with Johnny Winter, Donna Summer, Mark Farner of Grand Funk, as well as the Village People and members of Cheap Trick. I know you got a story, Jeff. Come on.
You think?
You know what? I'm going to bring the Village People story in, and it's short. My favorite thing that happened to me during my time with the Village People is that people would come over to me and say, "Which one are you? Which one are you?" And my standard response was either I was the plumber or the systems analyst.
Fantastic. It is the Hitmen, ladies and gentlemen. Their new CD is out now. They're playing here tomorrow night, and they're on tour across the country. All the tour dates at thehitmen.com. I should mention Larry Gage as well, who recorded and played with Carole King, Dion, Tommy James, recorded tracks for Bon Jovi, and writer-producer Desmond Child also produced Clio Award-winning TV commercials. His daughter Ariana will come up here shortly. Now received the first ever Road Warrior Award from the Musicians Hall of Fame in Nashville. We have some plaques. And Ariana Gage, if you would come up.
Awesome. That's good to be. Look at that. I'm proud.
There you go. That says Steve Murphy.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. I'll take his.
They all say Steve.
Wow.
It's cheaper that way. Get one.
That's lovely.
Nice.
Wow.
I almost spelled my name right. That's awesome.
Let's see. Murph, M-U-R-F.
M-U-R-K-E-Y.
Congratulations. Let's hold them up, guys.
Well, this is Dance With Me. It's a big hit by Orleans, and we do because I worked and sung many times with another dearly departed Larry Hoppin, and it was just so much fun knowing the lead singer from Orleans I was singing with, and we do it in between sessions because we did a lot of jingle dates, so we do toilet paper jingles and toothpaste jingles, and then we would sing this song in between.
Starting, night is calling, and I am falling. Dance with me. Fantasy could never be so killing. I feel free. I hope that you are willing. Pick the beat up and kick your feet up. Dance with me. Let it lift you off the ground. Starry-eyed, and love is all around us. And I can take you where you want to go. Dance with me. I want to be your partner. Can't you see? The music is just starting, night is calling, and I am falling. Dance with me, dance with me, dance with me, dance with me, dance with me.
This next tune is the first hit record I was ever on, and whoever bought it, I thank you for launching my career.
Who loves you, pretty baby? Who's gonna help you through the night? Who loves you, pretty mama? Who's always there to make you right? Who loves you, pretty baby? Who's gonna help you through the night? Who loves you, pretty mama? Who's always there to make you right? Who loves you? Who loves you, pretty baby? Who's gonna help mama? Who loves you? Who loves you, pretty baby? When the tears are in your eyes and you can't find your way, it's hard to make believe you're happy when you're gray. Baby, when you're feeling like you never say